Good evening and welcome. I am Amarachi Ubani. Tonight, President Muhammadu Buhari returns to Abuja after attending the D8 meeting of developing countries in Istanbul, Turkey. Body of 40-year-old man who jumped into the Lagos Lagoon on Friday is recovered after being washed ashore. In spite of initial rejections, the Nigerian Army resumes its medical outreach program in Rivers State and says exercise is part of its civic responsibilities to communities. And the World Health Organization revokes the appointment of Zimbabwe's Robert Mugabe as a goodwill ambassador following widespread outcry. We begin tonight in Abuja, where the president is now back to after attending the D8 summit of developing countries in Istanbul, Turkey. The government believes the gains of Nigeria's participation at that summit are far-reaching. The presidential spokesperson, Garba Shehu, in a statement today says apart from the new partnerships that were formed between Nigeria and Turkey, member countries are now poised to increase the volume of trade amongst them. And he joins us now from Abuja, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, who is in Abuja, joining us via Skype. Mr. Shehu, thank you for joining us on the News at 10. Tell us about generally how that meeting went. Apart from the agreements that were signed and everything else, what was the general feel of that meeting?
Well, as you said in the introductory part, there is a sense that these countries with the enormous sizes of their population, geography, and all of that, they control very little part of global trade. And they need to do more, to do three things. One, to increase their share of the world trade, to increase trade, between themselves and then to see, if you look at the relative levels of attainment in terms of their development, Turkey is up there, perhaps up to the level of Europe and all of that. So the thing is that they will work together so that they will achieve a lot more for their own peoples.
It is important that we gain a lot from this meeting because we talked about Nigeria, what we take home, when we go out, during meetings like this. But what did we bring to the table also in Turkey? What did we come with apart from what we took away?
I think the most important, in my own point of view, is the level of understanding we got from everyone. The support we're getting to fight terrorism in our own country. Some countries are already assisting us do that. One of the issues that is less talked about, for instance, is that, there was the little incident of an unknown so-called diplomat from Turkey who had featured in some of the things that IPOB was doing. At the technical level, this was an issue that was quickly thrashed because this guy was disowned and assurances gotten by Nigeria that Turkey will not again permit any of their citizens, they will not permit their territory to be used for subversive activity against Nigeria. It is important that our customs have signed an agreement, have reached a mutual assistance agreement with the Turks. The Turks wanted a signature on this agreement while we were still there. Our requirement is that our Attorney General must vet such agreements before they sign. We are hoping that within 1 week, the Attorney General of this country would sign off on that agreement, and we will have one that will help this country to check these incidents that have been so disturbing to Nigerians of the shipment of illegal weaponry into our own country.
Yes, and I noticed that the president also signed an agreement with Pakistan. Could you tell us more about that too?
The side meeting with Pakistan was equally an important one because, look, when the Prime Minister and our President met, they realize how much in common two countries have between themselves. And the level of trade is so embarrassing low that they both agreed that, look, the story between Nigeria and Pakistan is a story of missed opportunities and that we need to do more. Yes, there is some level of military training agreement between our own countries. Even that one is considered to be very low. There is so much that the Pakistanis can do for Nigeria. They want to help us with gas pipelines, for instance. They're doing a lot of networking in their own country. And the solar power, especially in the northern parts of the country where this country is endowed with a lot of sunlight.
Shehu, thank you for joining us on the News at 10.
Thank you very much.
One of the outcomes of the D8 meeting is the agreement on gun control entered into by Nigeria and Turkey, as highlighted there by Mr. Garba Shehu. This follows a series of arms seizure by the Nigerian customs at the country's ports, most of which were traced to Turkey. Nigeria's Comptroller General of Customs, retired Colonel Ahmed Ali, has, however, exonerated the Turkish authorities of any wrongdoing in the importations. Colonel Ali, who spoke to journalists in Istanbul, says the Turkish authorities were unaware that pump-action rifles form part of items on the country's restrictive list.
What it entails is that first it will give us first-line information. So the moment documents are filed for shipping anything to Nigeria, first-hand, real-time, they'll communicate it to us. So the issue of changing manifest on the high sea does not arise because we now know what consignment is coming and what is in it. That is one. Two, it will also give us the opportunity to exchange training between us. It also gives us the opportunity to develop connectivity in terms of ICT. And then it also allows us to exchange personnel between us, and our own officers can come and work for a period of time with them here to understand their system. Their own officers can also go and work in Nigeria. So this to us is a win-win situation.
As part of activities to cripple the activities of castle rustlers and other criminal activities in Katsina State, the state government has destroyed weapons that were recovered from repented cattle rustlers across the state. Governor Aminu Masari also challenged his fellow governors in the region to join hands towards actualizing the disarmament program.
An assortment of arms and ammunition lined up, waiting to be destroyed. The weapons belong to people the government of Katsina State refers to as repentant cattle rustlers. The arms have been gathered and displayed at the Katsina Polo Ground for destruction in an exercise which the state government hopes would help address the problem of crime exacerbated by widespread proliferation of arms and ammunition in the states.
It is noteworthy that Katsina State's disarmament program has been a veritable tool in the reduction of crime in the states, as kidnapping, armed robbery, cattle rustling, and other related crimes and vices that were plaguing the state are evidently now on the decline.
A number of achievements have been made in recent times, even in the Rugu forest and the neighboring Zamfara area, where hundreds of them, up to 1,000 even, went into the deep forest to fight those that refuse to repent and continue to commit crime in kidnappings and other forms of crimes.
The program manager, Presidential Committee on Small Arms and Light Weapons, tells Channels Television that a total of 416 weapons are expected to be destroyed during this program.
Remember, we were here in July to commemorate the United Nations Arms Destruction Day. During that exercise, we destroyed 10. So if you add that 10 to this 416, that's 426. So on the whole, the weapon made available to us by the Katsina State government under this disarmament program is 456 weapons.
The Katsina State government maintains that disarming criminals and mopping up illicit arms circulating in the state would help restore order and safety of lives and property of residents. The state government also wants other northwestern states in the country to team up with the federal government in the disarmament program.
Back here in Lagos, the body of a 40-year-old man who allegedly jumped off the Lekki-Ikoyi Bridge into the Lagos Lagoon on Friday, October 20th, has been found. The man, identified as Oluseyi Adekunle, reportedly plunged to his death in an apparent suicide bid. Mr. Adekunle's body was discovered by a local fisherman early this morning at about 5. Floating by the riverbank close to the area where he allegedly jumped in, officials of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency and the Marine Police recovered the body in a joint operation before handing it over to the State Environmental Monitoring Unit. According to the General Manager of LASIMA, Mr. Adishino Tiamiu, the police will carry out further investigation into the matter. While the Nigerian Army will not be deterred from carrying out its civic duties in communities where it is operating. That's a response of the Army authorities to rumors it has been carrying out alleged infectious vaccinations in areas of its security operations. The Chief of Logistics, Nigerian Army, Major General Rogers Nicholas, delivered the message from Chief of Army Staff during a community service rendered by the 6th Division in some communities in Rivers State. Our correspondent, Emmanuel Iri, reports.
Some scenes that played out recently in Rivers State during a rumored infectious vaccination scare by the army. Setting the record straight is perhaps one of the reasons why the Nigerian Army's Chief of Logistics is seen in company of the traditional ruler of Igbo community in Igbo Secondary School, Eche, Rivers State.
The aim is to familiarize themselves with the communities in Rivers State and the communities where they are coming for the Crocodile Smile 2. So they were sent by the federal government through the Chief of Army Staff to come and sensitize the people on what they have come for. They are here for peace, to maintain peace and order in the state.
Chief of Army Staff have decided to provide some educational material to encourage you to be good students, to be law-abiding, to be disciplined.
Please, a big clap.
And the goodwill is reaffirmed with the distribution of the materials to an excited crowd of students. Men, women and children of Igbo Eche community are the next beneficiaries of the Army's medical outreach, whose benefits the monarch explains to the people.
For people, when you have 10 children, only about 2 or 3 will survive because there was no immunization. Now you have 3 or 4. Those 4 you have, they will live till they become old because of the immunization. It prevents children from getting sick.
As we have seen that time,
the army insists that it will not be deterred by rumor peddlers.
It's mere propaganda by people who are not loyal to this government, who see nothing good about the Nigerian army, who see nothing good in what people are doing positively. So we want to plead to the people, the Nigerians, to please always see the Nigerian army as part of you. Nigerian army is, we are going to retire back into the civil society. Some of these young people are going to come back to take over from what we're doing now. So the army is a continuum. It has to continue, whether we like it or not. There is no propaganda that will stop the Nigerian army from playing the constitutional role. Okay? People are just making noise and whatever information they want to disclose. We will not budge.
Following the hysteria created by unfounded rumors about an alleged sinister motive behind the phantom vaccination exercise, the army may have to strengthen its engagement with local communities, especially in the area of information sharing. Emmanuel Iri, Channels Television News.